I don't have a question, I have a point to add to the discussion. So when we are talking about this digitalization, let's ponder on the disadvantages which it provides. First, the 3D printing which Sir rightly mentioned, arms and ammunition can be printed anytime, anywhere. Second, the concept of drones which is coming up, this is creating a menace of security all across the globe. Unidentified flying objects are becoming a real life problem now. Thirdly, analytics being used by terrorists to attract more candidates for their organizations. So these are just a list of few of the problems which digitalization poses. But what I like Sir rightly mentioned, that digitalization, if it is a problem, there are humans to solve it. So what I want to say is, the question should not be whether the marriage is possible or not. The question should be, when are we going to do it? Because even if we agree or not, this is going happening real time, and this has to be brought together right now. That's what I would like to add.
I'd like to answer.
Let Google answer.
Okay, can I get your name, please? Yash. Okay. The first one, printing arms and ammunitions. Second one, flying drones. Third one, going to something called as infiltration or whatever you talk about, right? This is all problem with humanization. Drones are flied by humans, printers are taken by humans, and humanization is happening too much in terms of jihadism. But yeah, you are right, when this marriage will happen, I like your second part of the thing. When this will happen, see, technology doesn't only have positive sides, it yes has majority of its negative sides. You know, I was in Harvard once, and probably I'm one of the most youngest Indians to address the students in Harvard. I was asked a question by a student from Indonesia in Harvard. He says, sir, I Googled a shoe, and that shoe started following me on the social media. And yes, that's a bad side of it. But you know, I read a post somewhere of a very wise person. If I say humanization is the left, where nothing is right. And if I say digitalization is the right, where nothing is left. So it's left to you how you take it and how you go ahead with it. So there's two sides of every coin. But yeah, it will come in at one point of time, because see, they are also right on their part saying that we have flaws in our system. And we are also right on our part saying that the flaws are created by them. And it takes it takes some time. It's clap happens with both the hands, right? So it is going to take some time in terms of having a purified form of digitalization. And yeah, and to your question, I leave it saying that it will take another 5 years minimum to go ahead with that into the purest form, or a purest form of taking it forward. I hope it's okay. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hi, my question is for Dr. Kunal, and it's particularly pertaining to GPS and Google Maps.
Yes, sir.
So I heard that from numerous sources that humans, as a result of Google Maps, now just rely on Google Maps for their directional purposes, as opposed to used to keep their orientation in mind before. Like they used to have more of a, like one particular part of the brain that is used while you while you navigate yourself. That is kind of diminishing. And in some way, digitalization is making humans dumber. Do you think that's happening? What's your take on that? Digitalization making humans more stupid as a race?
You know, I will start saying like this. Before Google Maps came into existence, for me, myself as well, you know, when people used to drive earlier without maps as well, some people knowing the same lane were also not aware where to go left or right. Now what do you call them? Going on the same lane every day. Now GPS, yes, it has got flaws, I don't say no, but we have tried to simplify the human effort to almost 92% extent, and I'll be very precise, 92%. Why? Because now maximum public transport runs on this, one. Majority of the people don't have to take off their phones for going through GPS. It's embedded in their car accessories or their music systems, and they go ahead with it. And now that is especially my brainchild. We started working from 2015 for two-wheelers because I saw there are too many accidents happening on the road for two-wheelers as well when they are trying to see on the phone as well as driving. So we have come up with a two-wheeler mode as well. So it's not about making dumb the dumber or dumber the dumb, but it's just making a person aware that yes, you have to be safe. You should reach your place in time, because your mind would say that from point A to point B it takes 15 minutes. But when you see the traffic, it will take 1 hour 15 minutes. And that is where we have put the hoardings all across the country for, and we are doing some kind of TV advertisements as well to make the general people aware that Google Maps is your friend on the road. It's saying, no, a friend indeed is a friend in need. So we are just trying to follow that philosophy. I hope it answers your question, sir. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Viren from competitionmantra.com. I want to just add some points in this discussion. Very good panel that actually due to Dr. Kunal, that very good discussion going on that map and Google map. So of course, my understanding is also in the same way that if we are looking at digitalization, this is the live example of Uber, okay, that completely change of transportation system in the world. And second, we can see the e-commerce, if we are talking about, that completely changed the traditional business of in e-commerce sector by Flipkart or Amazon, that big billions they are again going on. So that the things. The topic is that how humanization that is there. Okay, so my understanding is very good. These companies has cop up these things very you can say that very good way. How the way they have cop up, okay, humanization, okay, that you can see that if you want to purchase anything today, okay.
Do you have a question or are you elaborating on something?
Yeah, something I'm just adding here. Okay, so very good to that if you want to purchase some things, already I think you got it some mail in your mailbox that which dress is good for you in big billions day. That is called engagement. That is called engagement, and very good engagement. What a traditional business was doing. Earlier traditional business was same thing doing that under their last decades of that work. They are just building a repo, good repo with customers, and that is the humanitarian. They have you can say that good humans. You can say that kind of repo they have built up. They have emotional engagement they have created. Correct. That the things. If you see that kind of big brands, I am talking about the big brands when Flipkart, Amazon, Uber, Ola, that are created. Can you expect if tomorrow is your birthday and you are getting that birthday message in your mail from such kind of company, this is not a big humanitarian? Of course, I am feeling that. Okay, and suppose you are to, suppose your house in JP Nagar, every day you are going to office in Whitefield. If 2 days you are going by Ola or Uber, third day you are getting that message, your colleague is going from that area, why you are not going along with him? So you can save your money also. This is not a repo building. Of course, repo building they are doing. So my understanding is some big company has started, but of course it's a big challenge of if a small company also they are starting to do that kind of activity, then of course that is a big success. And this is a challenge also.
We agree, we totally agree, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions from the student community? Yes, please.
Sir, like you mentioned that the nature of jobs is slowly going to change because of machine learning, automation, etc. But and also it's going to free us the time to think more creatively and take richer decisions, like you rightly mentioned. But at the same time, I would like to ask that although it is going to free us the time, but all these years, all the companies, majority of being IT companies, the employees are very much, they do repetitive work day after day after, which is the major reason for attrition also in majority of the companies. So as companies, are they going to take steps to welcome this sort of change? Are the companies taking the right step forward in this particular direction?
Okay, I think it's a very simple thing. Coming from the IT services industry, and it's not just about my company CGI, but every single IT services company. You talk to anybody, they will say 5 mantras or same things they will say. That in the IT services space, there was a lot. I mean, there was a job where somebody would do something called a repetitive task list. You know what it is? They'll be called a business analyst, and they'll look at a job. A job is a scheduled job, okay, a cron job or something like that, okay, on a JCL, and they will monitor the job, and some data will go from one place to another, and then that job will fail. So they'll have an instruction which says run the job again, and they'll do it twice, and if it fails twice, then they'll be asked call this person, and then they'll call that person with a pager who's apparently on call, okay, and then this fellow logs in. Then there are 5 systems, so there are 5 different people, and they get into a triage or they get into a telecon, and then they figure out where in the interface something has gone wrong. This is actually a classical case. This is real. This happens. Now you have a whole army of people over the last 2 decades who have been doing this job, and it was easy. That was offshoring 1.0, where instead of having expensive resources doing that job, it goes offshore and you're basically arbitrating. And if after some time that job could have gone to Uganda for all you know. Okay, it would just go down to the bottom of the pyramid wherever the cost is the least. And it's so boring a job to do. Yeah. So I think it's a blessing that those jobs are going away and it's getting automated, and that's the easiest kind of automation. Then even more complicated pieces are getting automated, and you have this concept. We have not still mastered broad AI and all of that. We are doing narrow AI. We are solving specific problems using that. So the pyramids are becoming diamonds, where there's a lot more in the middle. The real point is, look at Dr. Kunal. He's doing such a fantastic work. He looks such a young man. I represent a wise and aged human being. Okay, he represents a young man. But the point is that people are looking at competence. They are not looking at experience. Okay, people are looking at value. They are not looking at volume. They are looking at skill. They are not looking at scale anymore. Even when a client comes and talks to an organization, they no longer say, how many thousands of SAP professionals do you have? They say, look, my problem is this, can you solve it? And then what are you going to do to solve it? And show me a proof of concept. And a person who can quickly mock it up and show that proof of concept is the guy who will get the deal, right? So that's how the industry has changed. And I think, therefore, since the question is from the student community, I think the key thing I will tell you is that as you read up your theories, and you may be from marketing or finance or HR or systems maybe, figure out, are you having skills that solve problems? Okay? Because if you solve problems, you are in business, like my friends on the digitalization side. If you don't solve problems, no one has the time for you. So do you have relevant skills that solve real problems? Can you articulate how you have solved the problem? If you have, you are in business.
Any questions? Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please
So-
address the question.
Yeah. So I have a question that basically with advancing technology, we can understand that technology is making us more efficient in our work. But how is it making us more effective in our work? For example, we are specializing in a particular field. I've done my engineering. I've done it in computer science. But how effective has specializing in a particular field made me as a whole? Like, if you open the trunk, open the hood of your car, I don't know how it works. So how is specializing made us? It has definitely made us effective. But how has it made us more? It has made us more efficient. But how has it made us more effective? Is my question in this day of digitalization.